No matter how hard you try, something just isn't clicking. Your body feels stuck, your relationships feel hard and chaotic. You constantly feel exhausted, yet slowing down feels almost impossible. And subconsciously, you don't know what that even feels like. If that sounds like you may be trapped in hypermasculine energy with a dysregulated nervous system. And this means that you are in wounded feminine energy. And trust me, it is costing you everything. Today I'm going to be breaking down the 5 biggest things and signs that you are stuck in hypermasculinity and that your feminine energy needs true healing so that you can finally step into ease, confidence, and flow, and most importantly, a life that is aligned with you and a life on easy mode. If you are new to the channel, hi, my name is Kari, and I am so happy that you're here. On this channel, we talk about all things fitness, all things feminine energy, and how you can create your dream life on easy mode. And if that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure that you subscribe, become a part of the Queen community. And if you're not subscribed yet,
what are you doing?
What are you doing?
it's a fun place over here. And as you know, if you've seen my other videos, the first thing I want you to do is get your notebook, because on this channel, we take notes. It's not enough just to listen to YouTube videos and feel like we're getting all of this information to try to be our best selves if we're not applying it. So I need you to write it down.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to number 1. You struggle to lose weight no matter how hard you try. You're doing all the HIIT workouts, you're trying all of the diets, you're trying every single thing to try to get your body to respond. And you may have seen a little bit of progress in the first couple of weeks, you may have lost a couple of pounds, but your body is plateaued. You feel like you are trying all the supplements, all of the fat burners, you are intermittent fasting, you're doing all of these things, and your body will not lose weight. Now, if you know me and you have been following my channel for a long time, you know that I am a fitness coach and a feminine energy coach. And what I see with a lot of women is they think that trying harder will lead to more weight loss. And they think that they just have a discipline issue and they need to try harder. And this is not the case. This is a lie, okay? You don't have a discipline issue. Every single woman that I work with, I end up seeing, and I tell them, you do not have a discipline issue. You have been taught false information and taught that if you just push harder, if you work more, your body will be forced to respond. Because it only makes sense, right? The less you eat, the more fat you're going to burn, the more weight you're going to lose. Simple science, simple mechanics, right? But what you don't understand is this is actually crashing your metabolism and messing with your hormones as a woman. Now, many of the studies that have been done on fasting, keto, all of these things, almost all of them have been for men. Statistically, giving results and data that is based on a man's body. And this information is released assuming that a woman's body is going to respond the same. And this is not true. What I see a lot of is a lot of women that go from working out 6 days a week, doing all of these HIIT workouts, even running miles. You think in your mind that that's gonna produce more results. And I did too when I was in hypermasculinity and in survival mode. I was not allowing my body a safe space to lose weight. Our bodies, as women, prioritize safety and making an environment internally that is safe enough to have a child. If that first need is not met, everything else is not going to be important to your body. It's going to see that you're not equipped to have a child, so we're going to do things like stop our period, have a bunch of cravings to try to keep up with the energy that is being expended and not back in. Your body will also make you more sleepy. You'll feel fatigue all the time. You'll have gut issues, inflammation in your face because you're stressing out your body so much it does not feel safe. This is just going to constantly keep you in cycles of hypermasculinity, the run and burn cycle, and keep you in survival mode, and your nervous system is going to feel dysregulated all of the time. Okay, and this is why it's so important that you heal your feminine energy. And this doesn't mean that you start doing workouts that are
feminine, or you just start doing Pilates princess stuff.
Those things are all great, but going in with a plan to heal your feminine energy with structure and healing at a deeper level is what's going to help you change and get out of that, right? And that's exactly what I teach inside of my course and what I work through with all of my clients. It's so simple and so easy. I have had women lose 20 pounds in 2 months easily, only having to go to the gym twice a week, doing things in healed feminine energy. And some women lose 15 pounds in 16 weeks where they couldn't lose weight in 3 years, over 5 years, over 10 years struggling. Things don't have to be hard. But your subconscious programming will tell you what you believe needs to be hard. And if you believe that that needs to be hard, you're going to work yourself for years, finding out at the end of it, it didn't really help me at all. Number 2, you attract emotionally unavailable partners and men. You attract emotionally unavailable, bad, backstabbing friends. Now, when I was in hypermasculine mode, I attracted some of the worst people, the most unaligned friendships, people who pushed away the love that I gave them, chewed it up, spat it out, and treated me so terribly. And in my hypermasculinity, I accepted it, made excuses for it, and thought that if I tried harder, maybe people would love me more.
No.
Let me tell you something about how your energy broadcasts a signal to other people, okay? When you act in desperation, you're telling other people you have no value. When you act in desperation, you tell other people that you don't know your own power. Therefore, why should they acknowledge your power? When I healed my feminine energy, I attracted the most amazing friendships. My best friends are the most incredible women I have ever met. I love them so much, and I know that is reciprocated. And I've never had to ask them. I've never had to guess, ever. But when I was in wounded feminine energy, when I was in hypermasculinity, the people that were coming around me only wanted to take from me. They judged me. They were never there for me when I needed them. And because I had this I don't care act, which internally I really did, I was just reflecting a wound I didn't want to face. What was happening was I was repeatedly just accepting bare minimum and accepting and attracting wrong friendships because internally I didn't believe that I deserved good friendships. Therefore, if you're struggling with men that are emotionally unavailable, that are in their feminine energy, that are acting like the princess in the relationship and think that they're the ones that need to be proposed to, that think they need to test drive you before deciding whether they want to be with you forever, I'm sorry, but we're done with that. Because the more you accept this kind of behavior, the more it's just going to come into your life. You may be thinking, why am I attracting all of these terrible people? Why am I attracting and having terrible friendships? I'm only seeing men that are below bare minimum effort. I'm only seeing men that want to be the woman in the relationship. Why is this happening? I want you to internally reflect why this is happening. At the subconscious level, you attract what you are and what your energy subconsciously wants to deal with. I see this a lot, especially with women who are trying to switch from being a control to somebody who is more open, wanting to receive, allowing things to flow in the healed feminine energy. Whereas this over here is the hyper-masculine, wounded feminine energy. And if you watch my last video, you'll see how I talked about when you have the desire to control other people, when you have the desire to over-explain yourself, when you have the desire to do all these things, this comes from a parental wound. And this is exactly what I walk through in my course, so that way you can overcome these things and know exactly how to pinpoint them so they don't come back, so you can navigate all of your relationships, all of your friendships in a way where you are attracting things that are aligned with you. Because like I said, being in hypermasculinity and in wounded feminine energy impacts everything in your life. It doesn't just impact whether you feel like a woman or not. It doesn't impact whether you dress up or whether you put on makeup. These things are conscious actions, only 5% of your day-to-day actions. But when we get into the subconscious, which is exactly what I teach, which is what no one else apparently is going through, how to attack certain sections of your subconscious so that way you can transform your life. It's not as simple as just listening to a meditation before you go to bed. It's not about listening to affirmations and putting on face masks and taking bubble baths and just taking care of yourself. No. As a PhD psychology student, you start to learn how complex your subconscious mind is, how complex the human brain is. And if we think that a few face masks are gonna change that, I'm sorry, my love, but you are sadly mistaken. Because that's what I thought too. When you heal your feminine energy, you start to attract friendships, people, love that is aligned with the life that you want to create for yourself, because you're coming from a healed place. You're not operating in wounded feminine energy anymore. The next sign that you are stuck in hypermasculinity and your nervous system is dysregulated. You feel like you can't slow down and you overwork yourself all of the time. You tell yourself that resting is unproductive. So why should I do it? You only feel like you've had a good day if you are productive. Now, being that I grew up in a household where you had to perform to receive things like love, validation, all of these things, right? And not consciously, this happened at the subconscious level, and most parents program their children this way to reinforce certain actions. But what happens is, in your deep-rooted psychology, you tell yourself that if you are not performing, if you are not being productive, you're not good enough. That is what you're telling yourself. You start to feel guilty for not completing everything on your to-do list, for not completing your chores, for not getting this work project done, for not waking up earlier, for not doing all of these things that you know subconsciously, maybe I should slow down to see if this is even aligned with the life that I want to live. Because especially if you live in places like New York or California where things are more fast-paced, everyone is go, go, go all of the time, right? When was the last time you sat with yourself and asked, is this even the life that feels aligned with me? Or am I chasing something that was programmed into me to chase? Because remember, feminine energy at the healed level does not chase, it attracts easily. Healed feminine energy prioritizes and thrives on ease, flow, restoration, and feeling like you're living with passion and purpose. And you can't do this when you're living in a place where you are constantly working all of the time, trying to just get to destination and you do not enjoy any journey. The next thing, you constantly overthink and overanalyze things because you don't trust yourself. Now, internally, you might not know if you trust yourself or not. If you keep making the same mistakes over and over again, you may realize that you don't trust yourself enough to make right decisions. And what this leads to is you seek external validation from other people. And if you want an entire video on that, I have it on my page. So I definitely recommend that you watch it because it takes you exactly through how to overcome external validation so you can validate yourself, which is an important feminine energy principle, which I also teach at the subconscious level in my course. When you're in wounded feminine energy, it creates this cycle of self-doubt. So you will constantly be doubting yourself and you will not be able to create your dream life or dream reality when you're operating in self-doubt. It causes you to second-guess decisions and you won't be able to find a partner that is actually aligned with you until you can correct this. You will constantly be asking yourself, is this person really even right for me? Do I really want to be stuck with this person? Did I choose the right job? Do I really want to be here? Maybe there's something better. You start to self-sabotage good things in your life because you can't trust or even know if you made the right decision or not. But in healed feminine energy, you have a deep inner knowing that things are aligned with you or unaligned. And the things that are unaligned, you quickly turn away because it's not aligned with the life that you want to create for yourself. The last thing that I see so much, especially in today's age with so many women who are feminists, you feel like you have to do everything yourself.
You don't trust anyone.
Now, I was stuck in this boat for a long time because I didn't trust a single person. I had been hurt so many times. I did everything so independently that I refused to ask for help. I refused to be vulnerable with people. And I thought that because no one was showing up for me, because one, I was choosing the wrong people. Remember what we talked about earlier in the video? When you choose the wrong people, naturally you're just gonna create cycles for yourself where you feel like you can't trust people. All of these things are so connected, which is why I said being in wounded feminine energy and hypermasculinity impacts every area of your life, okay? Not just one, every area. And this is only 5. Only 5. Your subconscious is too complex to limit it to just being one thing that it's controlling. When you feel like you have to do everything alone, this can stem from so many different things, so many different routes, and being able to pinpoint which route it came from, which event it came from will help you to overcome that. And when I work through this with my clients, they end up seeing, wow, I had no idea that I thought that I couldn't trust other people because of this situation that happened. Or I didn't know that I subconsciously didn't trust myself because of how I didn't trust other people. So many things can be connected, and finding the root cause is so important. And many people neglect that. In almost every single feminine energy course that I have seen people neglect the deep root of why things happen and how our subconscious and childhood programming makes you act a certain way and makes you attract different things in your life. True healed feminine energy will receive without fear, without judgment, and will understand and know what it feels like to operate in abundance. And if you feel like you have been in hypermasculinity, you have a dysregulated nervous system, and you've been struggling with these things for years, you don't have to keep struggling. But understanding where this hypermasculinity, where this dysregulated nervous system, and where this wounded feminine energy is impacting your day-to-day life right now is so important. In order for things to change, you have to shine a light on it. And then you have the decision whether you want to stay the same and continue to struggle in these cycles over and over and over again, and just try harder so you can somehow push yourself into a new life, into a new body, into a new relationship when you don't even know what alignment feels like. Or you can make the conscious decision to change your life, to invest in yourself, to get that book, to get that course, to make a conscious decision that you are not going to stay the same anymore and you're going to do something about it. That's what it took for me to change my life. That's what it took for me to change everything, making the conscious decision and stop feeling like I'm the victim to my life and my circumstances. Because at the end of the day, my decisions led me to where I am. I didn't have to choose to stay around those people, but I did. I didn't have to choose to be in relationships that weren't aligned with me, in relationships where I was the mothering energy. I didn't have to do that, but I chose that. That's all I knew at the time, but now I know better. And hopefully this video has helped you to see where you can do better, because you can and you will. And I believe in you, and I know it's so possible for you because it was so possible for me. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure that you subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. I love you and have a great day. God bless you.